Hello students, how are you all? Myself Anjali Panchal, your English teacher. Today I am here to teach you the most important grammatical topic, that is direct and indirect speech. I hope you all are somewhat aware about this chapter, but I want to explain this most important topic in detail. So let's take first introduction part. So there are two ways of reporting what somebody says. The two ways are direct speech and indirect speech. We can also say indirect speech is also called reported speech. A speaker's word can be reported in two ways. We can say that speaker's words, जो इंसान बोलता है उसके words, we can explain that words in two ways, and the first one is direct speech, the exact words of speaker. We can also say that exact words of speaker is talking about in direct speech. Let's take an example. The teacher said to Rajesh, "You have a bright future." In this sentence you can see we explain the exact sentence, exact words of speaker. The teacher's words we can tell you in inverted commas, that is, "You have a bright future," exact words of a teacher. Okay, and the second one is indirect speech, what the speaker has said without using the exact words. So in indirect speech, the speaker has said that sentence without using the exact words, because here the speaker convert this direct into indirect speech. The teacher told Rajesh that he had a bright future. The teacher told Rajesh that he had a bright future. Students, I hope you understand the difference between these two sentences, two examples. We may often be required to report that we have heard elsewhere. There are two ways of reporting what another person has said. We can quote or reproduce the actual words by the speaker. So the example is, Kamli said, "I'm going to school now." Mona said, "We shall have done our work." These two examples we can say in direct speech. The reproduction of the exact words of the speaker is called direct speech. We may also give an account of what another person has said. In other words, when the meaning of a speech is conveyed in the reporter's word, it is called indirect speech. When we convey the message of the speaker, we can convey the message of the speaker or the reporter in the same meaning, but the words are somewhat different. That words we can say in indirect speech. Students, when we use direct speech in our writing, the exact words spoken must be put inside the speech mark. We can say inverted comma. There are inverted commas in which you have to write your exact words, or we can say spoken words by the speaker. The first spoken word must have a capital letter. The first letter of that reported speech is always capital letter. When a new speaker begins, we must start a new line. In direct speech, when the new speaker started his speech, we must have a new line. The next, direct speech. So students, in direct speech, we use the speaker's own words. Whenever I am telling something to you and you said that exit words to the another person, we can say that is inverted reported speech is in the inverted commas, and that is called direct speech. In text, we put speech marks around the words spoken, and speech marks are also called inverted commas. Saying exactly what someone has said is called direct speech, sometimes called quoted speech or reported speech. Here, what a person says appears within quotation mark and should be word for a word. Always direct speech is written in the inverted commas and the exit words of the speaker. For example, I'm going to the cinema, he said. Students, you can say, you can see inverted commas are there and the reported speech is I am going to the cinema. He said I am playing. See, this one is the example of direct speech. He said, comma, in the inverted comma, I am playing. So what is the second example? She said, comma, in inverted comma, I shall paint. Another example, he said, I have finished this exercise today. I have finished this exercise today. The inspector said, I am glad to be with you now. The inspector said, I am glad to be with you now. Students, I am explaining you the examples of direct speech so you can understood better. This direct speech, I have caught 3 fish. See, here one person who is catching fish and said that I have caught 3 fish. Another person, the train will leave in 10 minutes. One girl said, I am a clever girl. I know this type of angle. I love ice cream. These all are persons' exit words because they are speaking these words, they are speaking these sentences. So we can say direct speech. So when we talk about indirect speech, what is indirect speech? So indirect speech or reported speech reports what a speaker said without using the exit words. Here the inverted comma should be removed and the exit words is not used in this indirect speech because speaker using their own words and convey the same message. When we report that another person has said, we usually do not use the speaker's exit words, we can say direct speech, but reported speech, that is indirect speech. Therefore, you need to learn how to transform direct speech into indirect speech. So it is most important, students, for you all to know how to convert direct into indirect speech. So in reporting speech, the tense usually changes. What is the changes we can say in the from direct to indirect speech? The first change is usually tense change hota hai. This is because when we use reported speech, we are usually talking about a time in the past. So when we talk about the reporting speech, we talk about indirect speech, the exit word should be spoken in the past. So we have to use the past tense for that. In indirect speech, we report what was said. जो कहा गया है वो हम report कर रहे हैं. That is why in indirect speech we report what was said. We sometimes need to change pronouns. Sometimes we have to change the pronouns also. We don't use speech marks. So here inverted commas should be removed. So students say in this example, he said, I am playing. Here he said, comma will be removed, inverted comma also will be removed, and conjunction that is used between the reported verb and reporting speech will use conjunction that. He said that pronouns is also changed according to the subject. I means he, am playing means present continuous tense will be changed in past continuous tense. He said that he was playing. He said that he was playing, full stop. He said, I shall paint. She said, I shall paint. She said that she would paint. Students, you can see she said after that will use conjunction that. According to the subject, I will convert it into she. She would paint. Simple future will be converted into past tense. He said, I have finished this exercise today. तो यहाँ पे हम चेंज करेंगे he said that he had finished. Perfect present will be converted into perfect past tense. He said that he had finished that exercise today. He had finished that exercise that day. Today will be converted into that day. The inspector said, I am glad to be with you now. The inspector said, I am glad to be with you now. Students, what will be the answer for this direct speech? So let's convert this direct into indirect. The inspector said that, conjunction that will be used. The inspector said that he was glad to be with him now. The inspector said that the inspector said that he was glad to be with me then. Now will be converted into then. I means the speaker of this sentence, that is the inspector. So inspector will be converted into, I will be converted into he. The inspector said that he was glad to be with me then. Another example, he said he had caught 3 fish. Students, before indirect speech, there are some examples into direct speech, and let's convert that direct speech into indirect sentences. He said he had caught 3 fish. He shouted that the train would leave in 10 minutes. She said she was a clever girl. He said he loved ice cream. She said that she knew that type of angle. So what changes did you notice in this particular? What changes did you notice? So, see, omission of comma, हमने comma को दूर किया. Use of that, we added the conjunction that, हमने conjunction that को use किया. Change of pronoun, जो रिपोर्टिंग इन्वर्टेड कॉमा में रिपोर्टिंग स्पीच में जो प्रोनाउन थे, जो नाउन थे, उन्हें हमने चेंज कर दिया. चेंज ऑफ टेंस, जो भी टेंस थे उनको हमने चेंज किया. चेंज ऑफ एडवर्ब, प्लेस और टाइम, हमने एडवर्ब चेंजेस किए. एडवर्ब ऑफ प्लेस, एडवर्ब ऑफ टाइम, ऑल थिंग्स विल बी चेंज्ड इनटू इनडायरेक्ट स्पीच. Direct and indirect speech. I am feeling ill. I am feeling ill. That is your direct. When somebody said that Paul said that he was feeling ill. Another person talking about that Mr. Paul, then he will say that Paul said that he was feeling ill. Okay, and here I want to explain you direct and indirect example. Paul said, comma, into inverted comma, I am feeling ill. And in indirect speech, Paul said that he was feeling ill. So you can see comma and inverted comma should be removed, and instead of that we'll use conjunction that. I pronoun will be converted into he because your subject is Mr. Paul. Am feeling was present continuous tense will be converted into past continuous tense, that is was feeling. Inverted comma should be removed. So what are the changes? No speech marks in the indirect speech. We added conjunction that we can say it is optional. Pronoun change, I converted into he. Tense changes, that is am converted into was. So students, I hope you all understand this introduction part, indirect and direct introduction part. What is direct, what is indirect. So in the next video lecture, I want to explain you the changes according to your types of sentences. Okay, so till that, thank you very much.